So y'all know later this week in the theaters we got Inside Out 2 coming in. So we're gonna get into the retros in honor of Inside Out 2. We're gonna talk about Inside Out 1.
Yes.
So, how was the first day of school?
It was fine, I guess. I don't know.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong. We're gonna find out what's happening, but we'll need support. Signal the husband.
With a nice pass over to Reeves, comes across center ice.
Uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
What? Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
Is it garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What? What is it, woman? What?
Signal him again.
So, Riley, how was school?
You gotta be kidding me. For this, we gave up that Brazilian helicopter pilot?
Yo.
They kept going back to that Brazilian guy multiple times in that movie.
Damn.
You know, it be Brazilian helicopters, be firefighters in people's lives. It be that be the conversation.
What did mom just say though at the table though? For the guys, what did the mom say?
See, and I wouldn't even listen. I was just like the guys.
See, the same thing. When she went for the second nod and the guy said, right now, I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the fuck she said.
She didn't say anything. She said,
she didn't say,
that's not a word.
That's all she did. So technically, I don't fault him.
Okay.
Because she was talking to the daughter. She sees something is wrong. And all she went was, like, okay, what the fuck does that mean?
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Iris.
Disney was showing how most men live quiet lives of desperation. They are imprisoned in their own mind. That's the only safe place, and they're not even safe there, as you can see. Thank you, Disney, for showing our pain.
And just to add, you can't be mad because it's not called men's intuition; it's called women's intuition. We may sense things in our children that, you know, dad's not gonna send. Remember, that was that grew inside me, you know. So
yeah, that's what she said.
You know, so it's like you're such an asshole. I knew it. But I set myself up for that.
Yeah, little super soaking.
Oh Lord, here we go.
So you know.
All right, so the plot for Inside Out, for those of you who haven't seen it, is basically, as you can tell, that these are the feelings inside of a young girl named Riley. She's uprooted from her Midwest life and moved to San Francisco, and her emotions, joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness, conflict on how to best navigate her life in this new city, new house, and new school. All right, so let's go with the initial impressions. I want to start with you, Dad Panther. Your initial impressions, please, sir.
I looked at this as another Disney Pixar type of movie. I didn't expect anything other than some of the jokes will hit adults. That was it.
Ooh, all right. Right to it. Okay, Iris, initial impressions, please.
Yeah, I have to agree with Dad Panther. I really just thought it was going to be, you know, something cute, just to take the kids to. But I didn't, you know, there were certain things I didn't realize were going to be thrown into the movie. So I just thought, hey, this is going to be a cute Disney movie to take my daughter to, you know?
Word. JS1, how about yourself?
I watched it because, I was interested in the film because the comedy seemed like it was completely on point. I don't know. I get weird when it comes down to cartoon stuff at this age, because I feel like if I get caught watching it, it's gonna be like, what's wrong with you? But because I don't have any kids to take with me to watch it or anything. But I definitely was excited to watch it because I really feel like Pixar, Disney do a great job of telling human stories. So it was just like, yo, I'm all in. This seemed like such a unique concept.
Absolutely. So for me, my initial impression was, at first it was like, oh man, not another Pixar movie. And when I saw the trailer, like JS1 was saying, the comedy was definitely there, and I was like, okay, I need to dive in. I need to see what this is all about. So that was my initial impression. All right. So that Panther, you trying to share some information with us, sir?
I was just letting you know, just in case you're curious, this movie made a hell of a lot of money. The budget was 175 million, and at the end of everything being said and done, almost $1 billion at $858 million. So this made some people a lot of money.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I know it made some people a lot of money, changed a lot of lives. And I actually think that part 2 is long overdue. But let's go ahead and start with highs and lows. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. JS1, highs and lows, please, sir.
All right. I get to be back this time. So it's very rare that I have a cartoon movie that doesn't annoy me to a certain extent, because I feel like in cartoons they love to get latched on to these reoccurring jokes, and they'll just beat the dead horse like crazy, or they get stuck with slapstick. But Pixar has a way of just doing these very, very emotional, beautiful stories, and this was definitely one of those for me. This definitely hit me different. And it helped me understand a little bit more of the chaos that happens, how like men brain chaos is different from women brain chaos, and like, you know, how they're dealing with so many different things all at once, and how they're trying to balance it all. I definitely feel like this is important for kids, because I was thinking, man, if I was a kid watching this, I would feel like, wow, the first question I would be asking, is this real? I would have to go to like a female friend that was like real young and be like, is this how y'all really think? You know what I mean? And like, how do y'all survive off of this? Like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Because being a man watching, you know, this young girl go through so many changes, like it's not that complicated, you know, but I have to realize I'm man brain. So like, you know what I'm saying? So it was just fun to watch it, and it was definitely concerning, and it made me more like, all right, I gotta be more patient with women, because if this is what's going on in their heads, we're doomed. So like, you know what I mean? Because they're the best of us. So that's oh, sorry, lows. It might have ran just a smidget long, but I wasn't tripping. Like, I was enjoying the movie so much, but there were moments where I was like in the third act, that I was like, do we need all of this? But you know, it's so good. I'll ride with it. I'm cool. But you know, there was just a few little moments where I felt like they were either trying to draw out the funny, or they were really trying to hammer on, because I don't want to give too much away, but they were trying to hammer into a certain plot point, and they're trying to take you into that dark place before they bring you out of it. And I felt like they just dug in it and stayed in it too long. With that being said, none of that is important. It's a phenomenal film. I definitely feel like kids can not only enjoy from this, they can learn from it, not because of the crazy dumb man things I was just saying, but just learning how like we're all different, but we're all the same at the same time. So with that being said, I'm shutting up.
That's what's up. That I have man brain needs to be a shirt, just so you know. Like, somebody write that down, please.
Yes, sir. I'm on it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Iris, would you like to please give us your highs and lows?
Of course. So I would have to say highs. I really enjoyed the movie. I really loved how it gives you the different perspectives, not only from, you know, the daughter, but you get to see into the mother's mind, and you get to see into the father's mind. And even between the mother having the same type of emotions that her daughter would have, but the maturity level difference, because you can even see a drastic difference between their sad emotions, and how the little girl sad was a bit annoying to me, which is a part of my lows. But how her happy is the one who led the team. But on the mother's side, you could see her sad led the team. There was a difference, you know, in just like emotional maturity. Like, yes, you know, we all feel sad, but this is how my sad is handled. and this is how the sad would be handled in my child. And even with the father, like the main emotion in him that you got to see talk was his anger emotion. And it looked like the anger emotion led the team. So I really liked the different dynamics and how they show you like, hey, we all have the same connecting emotions, but you can see who leads the teams inside of you know, everyone's head. And of course, you know, just like JS1 was saying, like the difference between man brain and woman brain and how there can be a bit of a disconnect, and how, you know, I feel like the movie really proved like our emotional intelligence compared to a man's emotional intelligence. Not to go into my lows, as I mentioned before, sad, the character sad, like there were just moments where, yes, you're sad, but you're being stupid and you're pissing me off, you know? And I can understand Happy's frustration with her, you know? And then of course, one part that just broke when Bing Bong, you know, sacrificed himself. That was such a low for me that I was like, but that low also contributed to a high because I loved how the movie, you know, not only explains the different emotion, but really draws on the emotions of the audience. You know, and it's very rare. You know, I think the only cartoon Pixar movie who's ever drawn on my emotions like that is Toy Story. You know, so I really appreciated what Pixar did with Disney on this movie. And, you know, Eddie, just like you stated, we are super long overdue for a part 2. And I'm glad that they, you know, decided to come forward with one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, look at that. That's what's up, though. So I'm gonna go next because I see the Dad Panther is ready to close it strong. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my review out of the way. But shout out to Iris for stealing my points about the difference with the parents' brain versus the kids' brain, because I peeped that and I wanted to be the one to show it and be like, yeah, I'm the expert. You know, I see everything. But Iris, you one up me. I appreciate you. But one of the things I do highs for me, what I love about this movie is how well thought out it is with those points, how developed it is, how even a core emotion, if it's impacted too much by sad, it can be a sad one if it's impacted too much, or it can make you happy depending on, you know, what's attached to that core emotion. I love the thought process of this whole system of trying to create new memories and build on that to make the adult that you may one day become. I just thought it was such an ingenious thing. And then the jokes were on point. I may not have laughed out loud as much as I have in previous Pixar films, but the way that this story was being told and then the way the emotions were actually triggering aggravation out of us, making us annoyed or making us anxious, I felt like they were spot on with how some people in their emotions, we may not react that way, but there are people that truly respond in that manner. So I thought they really thought it through of executing how these emotions can be triggered and how they can cause you to go down a rabbit hole. And it was just ingenious to me, and the whole system involved. I actually don't really have any lows. When I was working I was managing a movie theater in Davie, Florida, when this came out, and I actually watched it like 5 times. Eventually I tried to get my daughter in there, but she didn't want to sit still, so we just took her on home. I didn't want to ruin everybody's experience, but it's okay. But I watched it 5 times myself, looking to see what else I can catch. So I don't really have any lows. I really enjoyed it that much. It was a sad moment when Bing Bong died. But also another high, if I can mention, because I'm sure the Dad Panther is going to touch on it. This cast is actually how you do voice acting. Everybody that you got was actually really coming through there, with their characters. Like, you really felt like you got a personality, as opposed to how we talked about if there was missed opportunities. You got big names, but the only reason you knew is because you went back to look. You know what I'm saying? Where here you were hearing it, you'd be like, oh, I know that voice, I know that personality. And sometimes you may be able to guess it, or then when you look, you're like, oh yeah. And then when my next watch, you start really seeing it even more. So kudos to them for that. And that's all I got.
Phenomenal job as always, guys. As always, you don't leave much for me to clean up, but I will say I agree. I can't see anything wrong with the movie. I do agree with Jay said as far as this movie running at an hour and 35 minutes. They could have chopped off just a little bit more, but then again, it's got an Oscar win and some noms. So what the hell do I know? I loved how it intertwined. Like if you watch again with certain things from Toy Story and up that make you think it could be in that same universe, even some of the memories in the background being memories from the movie Up and the wedding. The part that you guys have all kind of said, and I'll touch on it more, where anger was the pilot or the main character in the brain of the dad and sadness being for the mother, I took it as empathy. Women normally have that natural ability for empathy, and men normally have that anger, and not anger like I want to flip somebody and all this other stuff. It's men normally use that emotion to protect themselves and their family. And so having that man have that anger, not necessarily was like upset, because you really never saw him blow his temper other than when he sent her to the room, was just that's how a lot of times a man would go ahead and prioritize that emotion. And for a woman to have that empathy that's natural, that it just seems like a man can't grasp. So I thought that was awesome. And to have joy being, and I didn't take it as just that kid. Like think about when we go back as kids, we only had joy. It wasn't until a certain point came up and changed it. So I thought that was so awesome that I believe a lot of us, boy or girl, had joy running the ship all the time. And I see that in my daughter where everything is joy. And then there may be something like when sadness touches some of the memories and they kind of change. We sometimes go back and we reflect on something and it makes us have sadness out of something at that time brought us joy because we have a different understanding. Sadness to me was the real hero of the whole movie, not Joy. Joy was naive. Joy, even at times where the move was happening and something dramatic was happening, Joy would block sadness from touching the controls, as if Joy was stopping the fact that she has to naturally go through these emotions. She was suppressing sadness. So I thought that was amazing. They put that into, if there's anything else that I would say is I love that the plot in theory continues the conversation when the movie ends. At the end of the day, this is a movie that's taught in class. They even brought a guy who understands how people think and puts that with facial. And so it goes with what Eddie said with the cast. It wasn't just a great cast compared to some other movies you've seen as of late that's done, CG stuff. It was also, in my opinion, the fact that they got the facial emotions down right and you felt it more. So to me, I think we already know what we're going to be rating this, but those are my highs and lows.
Word. That's what's up. See, I knew that Panther was gonna have to close. He closed it strong. He brought it in about with the empathy instead of sadness. I didn't even see it like that. You know what I'm saying? What's up, JS1?
Can I admit something? I didn't see none of that. Excuse me, none of those things that y'all saw. I did not know who was running nothing. I'm so stupid, man. I'm not smart. You guys are so genius. It hit me so hard. Like, damn, this person was running and that person was running. I just be watching going, colors. Look, look, I'm trying to analyze, well, he's square, but he's round. Like, oh, that must mean something. I don't know what it means, but somebody, he's squiggly. What does squiggly mean? Squiggly could mean this. I'm totally missing all the important elements that y'all are picking up. So shout out to y'all, man, for being like deep.
That's what's up.
Yeah, for real.
Yo, so I actually hope that this review makes people who haven't watched it go back and watch it, because you know what? Let's go ahead, before I say any more. Let's go ahead and rate this bad boy. JS1, if you will, please.
All right. Is it a classic? Is it a good watch? Is it a catch on streaming? Is it not doing it for me? Or is it
oh hell no?
Or if you ever show me this ever again, I will you. That's it.
All right. So, for starters, since you enlightened by what you heard, JS1, I would like to know if I know you're going to give us your rating, but did it change based on what you heard, or are you still at the same place?
No, I definitely respect this film more because everything y'all said puts this whole movie into a whole nother time. Puts it into a whole nother level of understanding. Now I literally have to go back and watch it so that I can see, you know what I mean, what's gonna happen. I mean, like, only because y'all think y'all slick. Like, I might see something different. So I need to go back so that I can see if y'all are wrong, and then I can be right. So I mean, and that's an important element. If I'm not,
we'll need that by the second film. We can
you got it, and we'll see who's running what in the second film. So like, but at this point, let me check. It's a classic.
Hey,
it's a classic. I'm sorry. Even Donald Trump could understand this movie. Okay.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. So I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. I like I said, I couldn't find anything wrong with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it 5 times in theaters. Tried to make it a 6, but my daughter was like, "No, I want to run around and bother people while they're watching the movie." So it would have been the 6th time in theaters, but it's a classic for me. It's a classic. Whose rating we need now? The Dad Panther?
Yeah, I would just say it's a classic. I mean, we keep this thing going.
All right, there you have it. Inside Out from 2015, Disney Pixar.
Iris.
I thought she gave hers already.
No.
Nope.
Well, I guess I'm keeping that tradition. I'm keeping that tradition going of forgetting Iris. Let's do it. All right, go ahead, Iris.
I thought maybe we were just saving the best for last, but I guess not. It's I'll have to agree with the group. It is a classic. I put it up there with my Toy Story. Like, it is a classic.
My apologies, Iris. My apologies.
Okay. It's okay. I guess you're taking one out of JS1's handbook. I got you.
Yeah, I gotta follow this great man. He's very inspirational.
Everything bad comes from Jay. Oh my God. Thanks.
We're picking up his bad habits, damn it.
I got you. All right, so we're just the end of our show. We'll be back next week with Inside Out 2 and probably a couple other opportunities, reviews. Anybody else want to contribute anything before we sign off? Well, I love you guys, and we will see you on the next one.